Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Lew Ayres and Lionel Barrymore in an episode of The Story of Dr. Kildare reprising their movie roles. This episode deals with experimental radiation treatment. Was originally broadcast on April 19th, 1950.
The Story of Dr. Kildare.
Whatsoever house I enter, there will I go for the benefit of the sick. Whatsoever things I see or hear concerning the life of men, I will keep silence thereon, counting such things to be held as sacred trusts. I will exercise my art solely for the cure of my...
The Story of Dr. Kildare, starring Lew Ayres and Lionel Barrymore. Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer brought you those famous motion pictures. Now this exciting, heartwarming series is heard on radio. Now, the Story of Dr. Kildare, starring Lew Ayres as Dr. Kildare and Lionel Barrymore as Dr. Gillespie.
Blair General Hospital, one of the great citadels of American medicine. A clump of gray-white buildings planted deep in the heart of New York, the nerve center of medical progress, where great minds and skilled hands wage man's everlasting battle against death and disease. Blair General Hospital, where life begins, where life ends, where life goes on. I know you dislike sentimentalism, Dr. Gillespie, but, well, the best I'd hoped for was a chance to work with you on these Betatron treatments, and when instead you put me in full charge of the project.
Ah, now, Kildare, don't start gushing around like an old maid at a fraternity dance. Forget it.
Well, anyway, thanks.
We're living in a high-speed age, Jimmy, and it affects medicine along with everything else. You younger men are the ones who'll have to keep up with it. It was only a few years ago that the sulfur drugs came along, then penicillin and the other antibiotics. A little later, the radioactive compounds, and now the Betatron.
Well, every one of those has meant another big step forward in medicine and a lot of new problems and new techniques to be learned. Why, most of the formulas and calculations Miller has used in designing this machine come from a branch of mathematics I've never even heard of.
Well, the further science advances, the more specialized it becomes, and the more interdependent. All you can do is take a fellow scientist's results on faith. Assume he's right, and then go ahead.
I'm willing to do that in this case. Bart Miller is one of the best mathematicians and physicists in the country. So my main concern now is the fact we can treat cancers lying close to the brain. Those we couldn't touch before with surgery, x-rays, or anything else. As you know, that's as important as...
Pardon me, Dr. Kildare, but the specimen lab called. They've isolated the 6 guinea pigs you ordered and have them ready for you.
Oh, good, Parker. Will you have them sent down to the new lab in the basement? I'll be there later.
All right, Dr. Kildare.
I've scheduled the first test run with the machine for 3 o'clock this afternoon.
What about the first human test?
Oh, that won't be a test, Dr. Gillespie. It'll be a treatment.
Oh.
And the patient is Janet Dane. Maybe you remember her.
Oh, yes. The young artist who was in here for a diagnosis about a month ago. She had a throat cancer, high up on the left side, well advanced, and not treatable.
Until now. She's coming in for consultation in an hour. I just talked with her on the phone. You know, I'm worried about her mental condition, though. She's got to want to get well, but apparently she doesn't even care. When we told her she had cancer, she seemed to lose all her belief in everything.
Well, that's one problem you younger doctors still have to deal with, Jimmy. The problem of the human mind and heart and soul. There's no machine for that one. You'll have to solve that all alone.
Then, as I understand it, Dr. Kildare, I'll be fastened in some sort of chair in a small room down in the basement while this atom smasher shoots a narrow beam of high-frequency radiation through Through my throat.
Yes, that's essentially correct, Miss Dane. Each treatment lasts about 3 minutes, and it'll take several of them before we know the results. You'll be able to hear the Betatron running, of course, but you'll have no other sensation and no pain.
Nevertheless, I take it there is some danger
Oh,
involved.
not as far as we know. You'll be the first patient to be treated here at Blair, of course, but similar machines have been used successfully in other places.
Well, then why all these precautions you told me about? 3-foot concrete walls on the room I'll be in, and with lead shields around it, and you and the other operators looking in at me through portholes.
Well, there's quite a lot of difference between the careful controlling and focusing of that beam where you want it to go and just turning the radiation loose and permitting indiscriminate exposure to it. But with proper handling of the machine, there's nothing to be frightened about.
Oh, don't misunderstand me, Dr. Kildare. There's no question of being frightened. I've stopped being frightened of anything.
I know. I almost wish you were a little frightened. I wish you cared enough to be.
Care? About what, my life? Why should I? When you told me a month ago I was going to lose it.
No, not quite that. I said that without treatment you had around 6 months to live. But we're ready now to start treatment.
But there's nothing really certain about this $1 million gadget, is there? It's still only a chance.
A very good chance, though. Oh, it's true, there are types of cancer that don't respond particularly to Betatron radiation, but I'm confident yours will.
Would you still be as confident if you were in my place, Dr. Kildare?
I know how it would sound if I said your life is more important to me than mine, so we'll let that go. But all our lives depend on chance. I could be killed by an automobile tomorrow, and you might live to be 90. Of course, there's some chance involved in this treatment, but all the odds are with us. You've got to believe and have faith.
In what? I had faith in myself until this came along. So what can you put faith in?
Well, if nothing else, why not me? I mean, in whatever knowledge and ability I have as a doctor, and the confidence I feel about the treatment.
Suppose the treatment doesn't work.
It will.
You're so sincere and convincing. A person could believe in you easily. Could want to believe in you.
Then give it a try, will you?
You won't let me down, Dr. Kildare?
No, Miss Dane. I won't let you down.
Why, it's as plain as the nose on your face. That girl's fallen in love with you. There's no doubt about it.
That's ridiculous. You're always jumping to conclusions on insufficient evidence.
I know the symptoms, Jimmy. And under the circumstances, it was inevitable. Every woman falls in love with her doctor at least once. It's a psychological fact.
Well, not Janet Dane. She isn't the type.
Well, maybe she's not your type, but every woman is a type.
Well, I hope you're wrong. I've been through that particular patient problem before. Oh, in fact, I know you're wrong.
Okay, Kildare. I'm ready to go ahead on the tests whenever you are.
All right, Bart, let's get started. Wayman, you can bring that first cage over now.
Gotcha, boss. One live guinea pig coming up. Cute little gopher, ain't he, Doc?
Yeah. Bart, is it safe to go inside now?
Yes, everything's cut off. Go ahead.
Come on, Joe.
Jeepers. This room gives me the whim-whims. There's nothing in here but that one chair. It looks like an execution chamber.
It's intended to be just the opposite. Now, take that guinea pig out of the cage, Joe. I've got to strap him in place here on the head of the chair.
Okay, boss.
Thanks.
Say, he acts kind of dopey.
He's under a sedative, so he'll stay quiet during the test.
Oh, this ain't gonna hurt the little fella, is it,
No, you won't even know anything's going on. Now, there we are. Oh, come on, Joe. Let's get out of here.
That's okay by me. That thing there looks like a machine gun pointing through the wall there. It's even got ring sights on it.
When you fire a 30 million volt shot, it's a good idea to know where you're aiming. All clear, Bart. It's yours from here on.
Okay. Roll him over, Jim.
Right.
Dr. Gillespie, you can use this porthole here if you like.
Thank you.
I don't see nothing happening yet, boss.
Speed steady at 21,000, Bart.
All right. Cut in the primaries.
Secondary plates are holding on 27.53, Bart.
Good. Are the grids open?
Yeah. 31, round the clock.
Well, gentlemen, this is it. Test number 1. On 0, Jim?
Right.
Ready. Now.
I don't see nothing happening in there, Doc.
No, and you won't see anything, Joe. The beam is invisible.
Oh, that little gopher inside there sure don't seem to mind it none.
He doesn't even feel it. Well, 2 minutes and 43 seconds more to go. You've seen the whole procedure now, Miss Dane. That guinea pig in there is the 8th one we've tested this week. 3-minute exposures each time, and not one has shown any ill effects.
Well, this one certainly seems to feel all right. Guess if a guinea pig can go through with it, I can too. When do we start?
Well, the first treatment is scheduled for 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
I see.
You've decided to take my advice.
Yes. Whatever faith I have, it's all in you now. I guess that ought to put you on the spot.
I suppose it does in a way, but thanks for doing it.
Oh, Kildare. Oh, so you're still down here. Am I too late for the run?
Yes, we just finished, Dr. Gillespie. Everything worked perfectly. Bart's there in the control room now making a final check over.
Wrong, Kildare. I've just completed it. All okay.
Oh, good.
Now, Jim and I'll come in at 7:30 in the morning, have it warmed up, ready to roll any time from 8:30 on.
Now, then it'll work out nicely. We're scheduled for 9.
Well, how do you feel, Miss Dane?
Better than I have any time for the past month, Dr. Gillespie. Thanks to my physician, who's a pretty wonderful guy, in case you didn't know it.
Yeah, that fits in with a little theory of mine on psychology.
Now, let's not go into that, Dr. Gillespie.
Jeepers, Doc, they've been trying to call you up at the lab. You know what's happened?
No, what is it, Joe?
Them 2 guinea pigs you tested down here Monday are both dead.
Dead?
What?
Yeah, they just now found them keeled over in their cages, colder than a March herring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looks as though you'd better do some more testing before you start your treatments, Jimmy.
It couldn't have been caused by the machine. Their blood count, cell structure, vasocardiac, reflexes, everything showed no damage after the tests. Now, they've died from something else. It's pure coincidence. Bound to be.
Well, they certainly didn't get anything from Big Betsy here but a shot of straight high-freq radiation. I'll swear to that. Nothing else showed up on the test blocks or the recorders.
Well, nevertheless, we better not take any chances with Miss Dane until we're sure what happened.
No, I'm not afraid. Whatever Dr. Kildare says, that's all right with me. I've complete confidence in him.
Even under the circumstances?
Of course. It's a little matter of faith, you know.
All right, Miss Dane. We'll go ahead with the first treatment as originally scheduled.
April 19th, 1950, the story of Dr. Kildare on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Hi, this is Kyle Horvath with the White Pine County Tourism and Recreation Board. If you want to get away from the big cities and get back to nature this summer, give us a call at 775-289-3720 or visit us online at elinevada.net. There's so much to do and see I can't mention it in 30 seconds, but check out our website and you'll see what Nevada is really all about. elinevada.net or follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Give us a call at 775-289-3720 or visit us online at elinevada.net.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's Medi-Share. Maybe you've heard switching to Medi-Share to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for Medi-Share is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. Medi-Share works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, more of the story of Dr. Kildare, April 19th, 1950.
Now we continue with the story of Dr. Kildare, starring Lou Ayres as Dr. Kildare and Lionel Barrymore as Dr. Gillespie.
Well, there's no use carrying the Topsy any farther, Dr. Gillespie. Same condition in the lungs, congested and inflamed. This animal died from the same cause as the other one.
Certainly. From pneumonia. I told you that 3 hours ago, Jimmy, without any autopsy.
I know, but we still had to make sure. What time is it?
Oh, after midnight.
Well, guess I better clean up this mess and get some sleep.
You're still going ahead with that treatment in the morning?
Yes.
We don't know what caused the pneumonia, Jimmy.
But I do know that it wasn't the Betatron.
Coincidence, then.
Yes. Those 2 guinea pigs were left overnight in that basement lab. It's damp down there. They may come from a susceptible strain. They were new specimens, delivered only the day before. They may even have been infected when they came to the hospital.
Well, there's possibility, yeah, but there's nothing sure about any one of them.
No, but as far as I'm concerned, these things are sure. 1, when Bart Miller says the machine is functioning perfectly, I'm sure that it is. 2, I'm sure there's no medical theory to account for high-frequency radiation causing pneumonia, without at least some evidence of cell damage or blood deterioration or some of the other signs we've looked for tonight. 3, I'm sure that without treatment, Janet Dane will be dead in less than 6 months.
Well, Jimmy, it's your decision, and it's a hard one any way you look at it. The girl has a lot of confidence in you.
I know. It's the one thing she's clinging to now.
Plus, of course, the fact that she's in love with you.
No, you're wrong about that.
Well, maybe. Anyway, what are you going to do? Cancel the treatment or go ahead?
Well, Janet said her confidence was only as strong as mine. And all the knowledge and skill I have tells me there's no reason for delaying that treatment. I know I'm right, and I'm going ahead with it. The schedule is still 9 o'clock in the morning.
Dr. Gillespie, we're ready to roll any time Kildare gets here with the patient.
Good. He's due any minute now.
Jim and I have gone over Big Betsy with a fine-tooth comb. Everything works perfectly. I'd stake my life on it.
Well, in a way, we are staking a life on it.
Dr. Gillespie, when I think what that poor child has to go through, I just get so nervous I could scream.
Oh, fine, Parker. That's all we need to build up Miss Dane's courage. A screaming nurse waiting to greet her.
Well, after what I heard you and Dr. Kildare saying last night, I certainly can't be very calm about this.
By the tarn, eavesdropping.
I was not. I only happened to overhear it.
Oh, sure you did, Snoopy.
Oh. Yeah, I know just how she feels, Doc. I mean, sir, it ain't like there was a guinea pig in there. This time it's going to be a real live thing.
Wayman, you're an ambulance driver, and you got no business down here. Get out.
Yeah, but what if she maybe passes out, maybe, and we got to haul her off on a stretcher or something?
Oh, confound it. This isn't an execution. It's an attempt to save a human life. So stop acting like members of a death watch.
Dr. Gillespie, here she is.
Well, Dr. Kildare, I seem to have quite a welcoming committee. Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Well, how do you feel, Miss Dane?
Oh, fine, Dr. Gillespie. Can't someone at least smile? This isn't an execution, you know.
Yeah.
How about it, Bart? Already in your department?
Sure, anytime. Roll him over, Jim.
Right. I guess there's no point in delaying things, Miss Dane. Shall we go on inside?
Yes, let's get it over with. Well, we who are about to die salute you.
About to live, Miss Dane.
Dr. Gillespie, if I didn't believe that, too, I wouldn't be joking about it. All right, Dr. Kildare, let's go. This room was made less scary when the guinea pig was in here and I was outside.
Well, you'll be outside again in a little over 3 minutes. Now climb into that chair and we'll get you settled.
Like so?
That's right. Just lean back against the headrest.
All right.
Good. Put your arms like there. Now, all you have to do is sit here for 3 minutes. Don't move. Don't turn your head. This microphone here will pick up your heartbeat while this tube on your arm registers blood pressure.
I see.
I'll be following them on recording dials outside the window there. And if you get nervous or want the thing stopped for any reason, just press this button under your hand and we'll shut off the whole works. You got it?
Yes. I won't press the button, though.
Oh, good girl. You've got a lot of courage, Miss Dane.
Believe me, Doctor, it's going to be all right.
I know it is.
I wonder if you'll know what I mean when I tell you I love you.
Well, I guess it's...
You don't know. But you will when I'm well again.
Miss Dane, you're a very beautiful woman, but...
Thank you, Doctor. I suppose we may as well get started. Don't you think?
All right. I'll be at the window.
I'm not worried, Dr. Kildare.
All right, Bart. It's up to you.
Okay. Cut in the primaries, Jim. Hold steady on those grids.
Right.
Kildare, will you do the sighting?
All right, Bart.
That poor child.
Parker, shut up.
It's dead on, Bart. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Secondary's at 28.25, Bart. Grids are in.
Here goes. All right, Jim, cut her loose.
Good luck, honey.
Jeepers, she's sitting there and taking it without batting an eyebrow.
She's so brave. I just can't get over it.
She seems nervous, Jimmy. Starting to wet her lips, and nothing wrong, is there?
Heartbeat is steady. Blood pressure normal. No, everything's all right, Dr. Gillespie.
30 seconds.
And the conclusion of the story of Dr. Kildare, April 19th, 1950, comes up following these important words. I'm Wyatt Cox, and this is Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now the conclusion of the story of Dr. Kildare, as it was originally broadcast April 19th, 1950.
Look, Dr. Gillespie, she must be all right. She's smiling.
Parker, that's the smile of a woman in love.
Why, I didn't know that. With whom?
With Kildare.
Well.
Now, it's the smile of a woman who's convinced she's going to live. A woman who's just got to live. All right, Wayman, let's get the door open and bring her out.
Okay, boys.
Well, she came through it okay, Dr. Gillespie.
I hope so, Jimmy. The guinea pig didn't die until the second day.
No, I'm not worried about that. All I'm hoping is that these treatments work. Of course, we realize some cancers aren't susceptible to this, but we won't know for 3 weeks or more.
Well, as far as I could see, everything worked like a charm, Kildare. When do you plan to give her the second treatment?
Oh, day after tomorrow, if she's feeling all right. And, nice work, boy.
Thanks.
Well, Dr. Kildare, was I not a good patient?
How do you feel?
Fine. A little shaky's all.
Miss Parker's going to take you up to your room now. You can have breakfast whenever you want it. I'll see you a little later. And Miss Dane, you were a perfect patient.
Well, you know why, Dr. Kildare.
That's right, Bart. Treatment number 4 is scheduled for 10:30 in the morning. Right. Bye.
It's not that I mind the treatments, Dr. Kildare, but when are we going to know?
Still too soon to be able to tell, Miss Dane. You've just got to be patient, that's all.
I don't know, Jimmy. She's had 10 treatments now, and neither the x-rays nor the measurements show any change in the size of that cancer. I just don't know.
That's right. Treatment number 14, 9 tomorrow morning. All right, Mr. Miller. Goodbye.
X-rays again at 2 this afternoon. Why, Dr. Kildare? Nothing's going to happen. It's been over 2 months, and you told me 3 weeks.
Yes, I know, Miss Dane. Well, all we can do is to keep trying.
I'm sorry. All right, I'll be there at 2.
Good morning, Miss Dane.
Oh, Dr. Kildare. You've got my x-rays.
That's right. Dr. Gillespie and I just finished reading them.
What did they...
Skipping the technical details, the cancer is no longer malignant. It's starting to atrophy, decrease size. That's also borne out by the measurements we made yesterday.
Then you mean that...
I mean it should be completely absorbed within 2 months. Miss Dane, you're cured.
Oh, Dr. Kildare, I love you.
Well, I'm sure you think you do.
Oh, I don't think I do. I know it.
Well, let me put it this way. It's a psychological fact that women very often imagine themselves in love with their doctors. Of course, it's only temporary, but...
Oh, silly. I'm not that sort of giddy female. When I came to you, I was lost. I was scared. I knew I was going to die, and I didn't even care. But you made me care. You gave me hope and courage and faith, and I loved you for it.
Miss Dane.
So I put my life in your hands, and now you've given it back to me. That's why I say I love you. I'll never forget you. Jimmy, thank you for my life.
Thank me? Why? You know, I've always believed that life is the most precious stuff on this earth. That's why I'm a doctor, Janet. So if you did put your life in my hands, and if I did save it, then I'm humbly grateful for the chance. Dr. Gillespie, you remember Janet Dane?
Dane? Janet Dane?
She was in here some months ago. You know, the first patient we treated after the Betatron was installed.
Oh, sure. Of course I remember her. Whatever happened to her?
Oh, she got cured and went away, bravely stifling her mad infatuation for me.
What?
Don't you remember? You had quite a theory at the time that Miss Dane was desperately in love with me.
Ah, confound it. She was in love with you. Probably still is. Jimmy, it's a psychological fact.
I know that every woman falls in love with her doctor at least once in her life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's a pretty ridiculous theory, Dr.
Well,
Gillespie.
now, you don't know for sure just because the girl kept her feelings hidden?
Well, I know now, all right. She called me up this afternoon.
Well, now.
She wanted to tell me she was married last week. Well, I guess I'd better get back to work. So long. Oh, Parker, how would you like to do me a favor?
Why, of course, Dr. Kildare.
Well, Gillespie's in there tearing a pet theory to pieces with his teeth.
What?
And let him stew for about 10 minutes. And then go in and tell him that the man Janet Dane married works over at the medical center. He's a research doctor.
You have just heard the story of Dr. Kildare, starring Lou Ayres and Lionel Barrymore. This program was written by Les Crutchfield and directed by William P. Russo. Original music was composed and conducted by Walter Schumann. Dick Joy speaking.
April 19th, 1950, the story of Dr. Kildare on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
It's a big, bold story set in the heartland of America, along the edge of Lonely Mountain, and open for business. And so Big William Gorgon, played by handsome Michael James, fiercely set down his Midwest roots.
Oh, darling, we're going to sell bathrobes and raise chickens.
Set his adoring wife, Wilhelmina, portrayed by beautiful Glenda Olsen.
Oh, I love our store, Will.
But they hadn't counted on Big Ralph's bathrobes and cattle store coming to town.
Oh, Will, what will we do, Will?
Will had a plan, a way of facing off against tough Big Ralph. We're going to change the face of America. We're going to advertise.
Adver what?
With print, broadcasting, and bus benches, we're going to tell people who we are and where we are.
What's a bus?
And so the story of how one man brought advertising to the heartland.
Oh, will it work?
It will. Well, my name ain't Will, Wilhelmina. You got to advertise or we'll die. And so the greatest marketing story of all time is here. Advertise or die, dopey.
Put your message on this national advertising platform. Email classicradiotheater@gmail.com. classicradiotheater@gmail.com. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, another episode of the soap opera Claudia. This originally broadcast April 20th, 1948.
And now, Claudia.
David, listen. David, listen to the birds. Aren't they wonderful? David, you old sleepyhead. Here we have the most beautiful alarm clock in the world. You don't even listen to it.
What time is it?
It's morning.
You mean it's after midnight? Good night.
It's really morning. Listen to the birds. They're singing. They want you to get up, and so do I. Only not much.
You mean if I open my eyes, I'll see light?
You'll see sunlight. It's streaming in the room, David.
Then I won't open them.
Ever since we moved to the country, you've been sleepy.
Shh. I'm asleep.
Oh, I just love to lie here all day listening to the birds singing to us. I feel like Adam and Eve.
Where's the snake?
I feel like Adam and Eve before the snake came. Oh, it's wonderful living in the country, so quiet and peaceful.
It was quiet and peaceful until someone I know started talking. Now, shh. I'm going back to sleep.
Then I'm going to listen to the birds.
What kind of birds are they, do you know?
I was just going to ask you that.
Oh, they're parrots and nightingales and ostriches and pheasants.
What's that? And doves. Don't forget the doves. They must be doves because it's so peaceful. David, what was that?
One of your doves just fell out of the tree.
I wonder what he fell on. I never heard such a noise.
I don't like to say this, but your dove is falling upstairs.
David, do you think there are ghosts in the house?
Ghosts with hobnailed boots.
He's coming this way.
I'm going back to sleep.
David, what is it?
It's the most dangerous of all ghosts. It's the carpenter.
David, he came right in this room. Don't you think we ought to tell him we're here?
I'm not sure I know how.
And I'll tell him. Excuse me, sir. I mean, we're still in bed.
Oh, hiya, folks. Just act as though I'm not here. Got to finish this wiring job into the annex before we put up the lath.
David, he's just going to stay here.
Wonderful. Now, I really don't have to get up.
I don't want to stay in bed all day long.
Darling, it's so nice and peaceful. Now, shh. I'm asleep.
Hey, Billy. Push that wire up to the wall. I'm not getting you.
Can't hear you.
Push that wire up, Billy. You got me?
David, don't you have to go to the office today?
Quiet. I'm trying to hear the birds.
Now I know what kind of birds they are. They're woodpeckers.
They're wide-throated nail drivers. That's what they are.
Okay, Billy, I'm getting you now.
Claudia, why didn't you tell me? I've got to get up.
You can't just go and leave me here.
There must be some way we can get him to go hammer somewhere else for a while. Preferably on Billy's head. Excuse me.
How's that, mister?
I wonder if you could go downstairs for a moment while Mrs. Norton and I get out of bed and get dressed.
Well, anything you say, mister. You're paying for it. All I know is I was told to get here an hour ahead of my regular starting time. so we could get this job finished right away quick.
Hey, Mitch.
Hold it, Billy.
What are you doing up there? Going back to sleep?
Hold your horses, Billy. I'm talking to the owner.
All of this energy is a little frightening. It's too bad you fellas didn't hurry a week ago. You might have been through today.
Well, we're doing our best, mister. So long. I'll be right outside.
Oh, that's a lot better.
I can hear the birds singing again.
Yes.
It certainly is nice and peaceful in the country.
David, what was that?
I don't know, but I'm going to find out in a hurry. Meet you downstairs.
Don't forget you have to catch a train.
Who cares about the train? I think half the house just fell in. Mr. Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell. What was that?
What was what?
That crash.
What crash?
Just now, didn't you hear it?
Oh, that. They just delivered a lot of siding and millwork.
Is that all? Sounded like an earthquake.
David, it's 7:10.
My train's in 35 minutes.
I'll get breakfast ready. You get dressed.
Hello, goodbye.
Hello, goodbye.
Hello, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. My, you got dressed quickly. Wonderful what the country can do for a woman.
David, listen. Hey, can you hear the birds again? Dum 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 la 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 la.
Hey, Mitch, do you get me?
I get you, Billy.
It's 7:20. You got my breakfast ready?
On the stove.
Well, take it off. We'll need at least 20 minutes to get to the station. That only gives us 5 minutes to eat.
Well, it's not ready
Well,
yet.
hurry up, hurry up. Doesn't it know I'm waiting?
I'm the one who's waiting, and don't rush me. Say it took you a very long time to get dressed.
Well, let me ask you something. Did you ever shave with cold water?
Didn't you get any hot water either? I thought there'd be some by the time you got there.
Yeah? Well, there wasn't. I repeat, did you ever shave with cold water?
Is it better?
Better. Let me tell you, it's like pulling out each hair with a tweezer.
Oh,
And a rusty tweezer at that.
you don't look as though anything very terrible happened.
My face feels like it's been caught in a subway door.
Subways, crowds, noises. Aren't you glad we're in the country?
Delighted. Delighted. It's so peaceful. What? No crash? Every time I say that, there's been a crash. There, that's better. I wonder what it was this time.
Oh, just a couple of carpenters chopping down a tree, probably.
Isn't that coffee perking yet? And tell me, why is it so cold in this kitchen?
I don't know why it's so cold. That's your department.
My department? My department is in full retreat. What's going on in your
The
department?
coffee is not perking yet.
Let me see. No wonder. A little item here. You forgot to turn the stove on. That electric burner is as cold as the water I shaved with.
I did so turn it on. See? Look.
Let me look down here.
It isn't underneath, darling. It's up here.
Yeah, there's something not quite all right here.
Something, everything. And look, you have 23 minutes left to catch your train.
Hey, Mitch!
Maybe he brought some coffee in a thermos bottle.
I'm not reduced to pinching from other men's lunch boxes. Thank you. Hey, Mitch!
Okay, mister. What's all the noise about?
Just wondered if I could bother you for a minute. This stove isn't working.
You're very right. It isn't working. Billy and me are installing some wiring. You think we're trying to knock ourselves out?
What's he mean, David?
He means he turned the current off.
Can he do that?
Obviously.
Hey, you have 22 minutes to catch your train.
22 minutes. I'll take a glass of milk then.
Want some toast?
Where are you going to make the toast? Under the cold water?
Oh, dear. I guess you really do need electricity in the country, too.
Especially in the country where everything is so nice and peaceful.
There goes the rest of the siding.
There goes the rest of my appetite. Come on, Claudia. We've got 21 minutes to get to the station. Maybe I can get a cup of coffee on the train.
Where'd I leave my coat?
It's in the closet under the stairs. So long, Mitch.
So long.
See you tomorrow morning.
So long, mister. I hope you like it in the country.
The car doesn't start.
A little cold, that's all.
Maybe the car didn't get its breakfast coffee either. Can't you use the choke or something?
What do you think I'm using?
Oh, is that the choke?
Yes, that's the choke.
Huh.
A fat lot of good it is, too.
Maybe I ought to get out and push. We only have 18 minutes, and you said it takes 20 to the station.
Oh, I just got an idea. Maybe the train didn't get started either.
Oh, let the motor rest for a moment, then try it again.
Thanks. Thanks for the professional opinion.
That is what I'm here for, to give professional opinions. Call on me at any time.
Oh, thanks. Thanks very much. I'll do that.
Do.
Now, let's try it again. Ready? Get set. Go.
David is going. I told you to let it rest.
Yeah, little I told you so. Now, let's see. Now we've got only 17 minutes left.
And it takes 20.
Now, let's back out of here. Now what?
That truck, look, is turning in our driveway.
Well, that's just great. We'll either have to go over it or under it, or he'll have to back up.
Did he hear you?
Hey! Hey, you in that truck! Back up!
He wants you to back up.
Me? That isn't going to do any good. Hey! Hey, you!
Stop.
Back up! Back up! Back up!
He heard you. He's backing up.
Well, he's awfully slow about it. What does he think this is, anyhow? Doesn't anybody around here realize that people have to go to the work in the morning?
Well, that's what they're all doing, isn't it, going to work?
Hey, whose side are you on?
Oh, look, darling. Isn't River Road beautiful early in the morning? I think early in the morning is the best time of all.
There's still a mist on those fields down by the brook. Looks nice, doesn't it?
Everything looks so quiet, half asleep. And still, you know, there's all kinds of life inside it, don't you?
I know the carpenters and the plumbers aren't asleep, if that's what you mean.
No, I mean the fields. They look as if they were still asleep. But if you stopped and listened, you could hear the birds and the frogs. Aren't they full of rabbits and cows, though?
Teeming with them.
I like the country.
I like it better with warm water and coffee for breakfast, but I like it, too.
Oh, the country doesn't care if you notice it or not. It isn't like New York, where everything tries to make you stare at it. Here, everything is just there. Leaves the rest up to you. I think that's a nice way to be, don't you?
I think you're a nice way to be, darling.
David, we've only got 14 minutes to make your train.
And we won't be able to make any time when we get near the station. Too many cars.
Look at all the people. Where'd they all come from?
From the same kind of places we came from.
David, it's the first time I've really realized you're leaving.
But only for the day. It's just the same as my going to the office in New York.
No, but you're getting on a train, so it isn't the same thing at all.
Now, don't be lonesome, darling. It's just for today. Remember, I'm bringing Mama up tonight.
Please don't miss your train tonight.
I'm going to miss my train this morning if we just sit here talking.
We're almost only a block from the station.
We may never get any nearer. Look at all the other commuters. There comes the train. I'll have to run. Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye.
Now, don't do anything foolish.
No.
And you'd better get some breakfast before you go home.
Oh, David, goodbye. I'm glad we had so much trouble this morning.
Glad?
Well, this way all I had time to think about was getting you to the station on time. No time to think how much I hate to watch you go away. Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye.
So long, Mrs. Norton.
So long.
Having a club meeting or an afternoon bridge? Wondering what to serve? If you want to keep the bills down and the company happy, just order a case of Coca-Cola. See that there's plenty on ice, and what goes with it doesn't much matter. Moreover, there'll be precious little bother for you. And it goes without saying that everyone enjoys a party more when the hostess doesn't have to exert herself.
Say, Mr. King, do you happen to know if Mr. Norton made his train?
Well, he made it all right, but by the proverbial skin of his teeth.
Oh, good, good. Well, we'll get finished with their house as soon as we can, and then the Nortons really will start to enjoy living in the country.
Well, I think they will like it, in spite of you and Billy, Mitch.
Say, how come they moved up to Eastbrook? Do they know many folks around here?
I don't think they do know any Eastbrookers, and that's one thing that Claudia's going to start working on tomorrow.
Well, I hope she likes us.
Think she will. She's going to meet some of her neighbors tomorrow. It'll be a little unconventional, but she'll meet 'em. Wait and see how.
I'll be around. So long, Mr. King.
So long.
And from April 19th, 1948, Claudia here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Hope if you miss a day on this radio station, you do not have to miss a single episode of our show. You can always find our shows on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, Amazon, even Facebook. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. That's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Always remember that our website has all of our shows as well. That's at classicradio.stream. classicradio.stream. There you can stream our shows, learn more about classic radio collecting, and contact me there. And always tell your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the radio dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.